Think about being thrusted into war. Your role is a combat medic. This is a glimpse into what was like for those young men. Imagine the frustrations of working on the front line. Daily they came across injuries of a type and severity virtually unheard of in civilian life, inflicted by man upon his fellow men, and had to rack their brains for a solution and do their best without books or more experienced colleagues to advise. And with the pressure of knowing that not only the soldier and his regiment, but the soldier's family back home were depending on him to administer treatment brilliantly. Conditions were not sterile and never could be, and the doctor had to suffer the agony of frequently sealing wounds in full knowledge that they were dirty, and the patient would likely die later. Simple conditions, which were absolutely treatable back in Britain, could cause a man's death here due to lack of the equipment or medication needed to fix him. Every day the doctors fought the odds, seeing an endless parade of misery and destruction passing in front of them, and often feeling helpless and overwhelmed by the enormity of their task. Yet the soldiers depended on them for comfort and needed them to maintain a calm and cheerful demeanour. All of that is without taking into account the danger the doctors faced while recovering men from the very jaws of the enemy, putting their own lives at risk. Surgeon Captain Arthur Martin Leake had gained his first Victoria Cross in the Boer War for dressing the wounds of two others under heavy fire only 100 yards away, being shot himself in the process. He was awarded the second as part of the RAMC in 1914 for rescuing a large number of men lying near enemy lines between 29th October and 8th November. Captain Noel Godfrey Chavas was awarded his first VC on the 9th of August 1916, when he saved the lives of 20 badly wounded men in one night, although heavily fired upon, and his second for refusing to leave his post for 2 days, from 31st July to 2nd August 1917, again venturing out many times in dangerous conditions to rescue his fellow soldiers and save lives, ultimately at the cost of his own. A large portion of the doctors of the Great War were not army men by profession. There were just 1,000 members of the RAMC at the start of the war, but by November 1915, that number had swelled to 9,626. It would, of course, continue to grow. These were learned men trained as healers and well versed in all the most modern techniques. They knew the risks of infection, they knew the severity and prognosis of the wounds and illnesses that they encountered, and they were motivated by the chance to do good.